I would like to tell you about a chapter of the Bible that altered my life really and truly. Is from Luke chapter 10, verse 25 to 37, the story of the Good Samaritan. When I was in primary school in Glentana, which is a very small school, and was a very small school in the heart of Royal Deeside. There was 2 classrooms, and in the big classroom there was a library corner, and there I found a storybook telling the story of the Good Samaritan, and I read it. I took it out and I read it, and I think I must have taken it out about 3 times. I didn't come from a church-going family. I would say my mother was religious, but she wasn't a church-goer. And by the time I was 14, I was at the stage where I wanted to go to church. My dad, we lived up at Glen, so it wasn't straightforward, but my dad, I finally persuaded my dad to take us to church at least once a month, which he did. And then when I was 17, I wanted to join the church, and because I hadn't been baptised as a baby, my sister and I went to the church one Friday evening, and our lovely minister, Andrew Gardner, he baptised me, and therefore then I could join the church. Now, none of that would have happened if I hadn't read that story about the Good Samaritan. Let me read a wee bit. A man was on his way from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and when he fell in with robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and went off, leaving him half dead. It so happened that a priest was going down the same road, but when he saw him, he went past on the other side. So too a Levite came to the place, and when he saw him, he went past on the other side. But a Samaritan, who was making the journey, came upon him, and when he saw him, he was moved to pity. He went up and bandaged his wounds, bathing them with oil and wine. Then he lifted him on his own beast, brought him to an inn, and looked after him there. Next day he produced 2 silver pieces and gave them to the innkeeper, and said, "Look after him, and if you spend any more, I will repay you on my way back." Which of these 3 do you think was neighbour to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers? He asked. He answered, "The one who showed him kindness," Jesus said. "Go and do as he did." Now, I like to think that throughout my life that story has stayed with me, and I think that I really wouldn't pass someone by. In fact, I know I wouldn't. We were coming home from town one Saturday night a long time ago, and there was this gentleman walking up Fairfield Road. He was the worst way at a drink, is how we would put it, and we went past him, and then we went back, and we couldn't leave him to cross the canal by himself. And we saw him across the canal and up to the top of the hill, and it transpired that his mother had died a month before, and he thought that she would understand. She would understand why he was as he was that night. You know, humbling story, and you know, there's a reason for everything in this world. I wish a lot more people could see that than they do now. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Thank you.